It has been revealed that not all enemies are werewolves. Some are from our own race, vampires. And in the absence of Lycan, rival covens have used their time to destroy one another, violently through blood wars. Each wanting more power than the other possesses. It has been whispered that their war has spread to the other side of the world, Los Angeles. And a new coven has emerged, led by Talon, my former lover. His lust for power and wealth has brought destruction and senseless death to humans and our race just the same. And in my need for companionship, against the advisement of the Council, I took it upon myself to turn him for my own selfish needs. My loneliness, however, was not a purpose to expose any human to what I am today. An error I would greatly regret. But Talon was more than just a human to me. He was the light against my eternal darkness, my salvation from all that was taken from me. A perfect balance for one such as myself. But all that was about to change with one bite. I alone am responsible for the creation of this monster that once warmed my heart. And over a short period of time, his new power has awakened an evil that has lied dormitory in his veins. I have been alerted to his presence here in Los Angeles, and I now have a new purpose. Hunt him down and reverse the error I've made before it is too late. My name is Selene, and I am a death dealer.
Hi, Jessica, how you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good, nice to finally talk to you.
Yeah, it's been a while,
Yeah, we've been doing some crazy tagging going on back and forth for a while there, but you're a busy girl, so that's no problem with that, though.
Yeah, it's better to be busy than to be bored. So.
Exactly. So what have you guys covered so far? I'm kind of like behind here.
Absolutely nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, I called her. It was pretty cool. Her ringtone was the Star Wars thing.
Oh, there you go. You know who you're talking to when you get that.
So it was already a fuzzy feeling as soon as I was dialing or ringing in.
Yeah, it's the throne room scene from Star Wars, the first step. I like the throne room music. That's pretty cool. So I said, I'm going to throw it on my my phone. I'm a geek.
And she's just doing something specific. It's the throne room music. This isn't just the opening theme or the closing or the Imperial March. This is the throne room scene.
Right. She's not someone who just knows Star Wars. She knows the intricacies.
I can tell I'm messing with it's definitely not an amateur I'm messing with. I can tell.
No.
Have you ever met Valerie Perez at all?
Yeah, she's a good friend of mine, actually.
I can actually picture you guys being good friends because she's like a big fangirl. So.
Oh, she's great. Yeah, she's in one of my charity superhero group little things we do for kids. She's
I was actually going to ask you about that. You guys have kind of like a children's charity where you go as the characters to the sick kids in hospitals and all that?
Yeah, it's mostly right now we usually work with Shriners right now.
Oh, okay.
We haven't expanded too much in the last few months. We haven't been doing anything. It's been so busy. But Shriners is the one we mostly have gone to. She's done a couple additional ones for, I think it's called Charity of Hope or Charity of Light or something.
Okay.
But yeah, we have a superhero group that we have about 7 or 8 characters, and we'll go to the Shriners and see the kids, and it just makes them so happy. Just they love it. so we love to do that. And I've known Valerie about 2 years.
What character do you go as?
It's actually for the kids one. I usually do Supergirl. Only because she's a little more recognizable. I mean, my main character that I'm usually known for is Batgirl for like the DC Comic-Con stuff, but. Kids are, we figure they're a little younger. They should have a little more kid-friendly characters. So Supergirl.
It's Superman, but it's a girl.
I've seen the pictures of the Batgirl there. Where's the Supergirl pictures now?
Well, I only use those for the kids' hospital. I don't really go in public.
Right. Okay.
You're not going to the corner deli dressed up as Supergirl.
I'm thinking of myself, short skirt and everything. So I'm being a pig.
Yeah. No Supergirl pictures.
Damn.
Sure to turn a few heads, I'm sure. Did you see that lady dressed as a superhero?
I have driven in my car with a Supergirl costume on. That's very funny.
That's awesome. I can picture some truck driver pulling up next to you because it's got that high up view and just being like, "What the hell's going on in there?"
Even cars that pull up next to me on a light, if they happen to look over, they'll look and then they'll be like, give me the high five or the thumbs up, like, right. Hey.
You guys feel like getting heat vision rays through your car? Stop staring at me. Thank you.
Yeah, stop looking at me.
Burn a hole in you.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
How long have you known Valerie?
We've been between me and Chris. I mean, on and off her since her Tomb Raider movie first came out. Yeah, I mean, I was even friends with her before it came out. It was in pre-production when it was script. I kept getting in touch with her and saying, keep me in touch with this, and because it sounded such a really, really great project. And no one did a Tomb Raider fan film up until that point. So it was a really fresh idea. I don't know if anybody did, but.
The thing with fan films is, hers is kind of like mine. It's been a project that we've been working on for almost 2 years now, but we don't just throw stuff out there. It's a lot of preparation has to go into. It's a real film production. It's not I think, fan films in the last 5 years or so have really, maybe not even that far back, a couple of years, they've, grown into something worth watching. Because I know back in the day, when you say fan film, people kind of roll their eyes because they're terrible quality. It's like a video handheld camera. And here it is, and it's like this is horrible, But now we have the technology to be able to do real film.
We have the technology,
and for us that was perfect arena now to try our hand in another popular franchise. Tomb Raider was cool. That was a cool idea to do, and Underworld is probably even more popular. I think. I don't know for sure, but maybe.
Right. Is that one of your favorite movies, or? The Underworld, the franchise, favorite movies, I should say, or
Underworld. The franchise itself is pretty cool. We know some of the people from the actual productions that are aware of what we're doing.
Cool.
The first movie is pretty much the one that the writing and the whole story itself was really, really good. I enjoyed the last two movies, but I don't really associate them with the first one. It kind of went a little more Hollywoodish, kind of took away from the actual story.
Right.
Yeah. The first one is fantastic, and
I agree.
I was like, we need to continue the story of Selene because I really like her character, and so I started writing the script about 2 years ago, and it took me, I think, 8 days. That's how fast I wrote it. And I decided at the time to make it a prequel, but an immediate prequel. It's almost a side story. It takes place about 3 weeks before the first movie starts, and it foreshadows and leads right into it. So it's really cool.
So you're the writer of the film as well?
Yeah, I'm writing, directing, and starring, and my friends and I. There's a couple friends and I. We were producing it with my Mother Nature Films and Dark Angel production.
She does it all.
I know, I'm telling
you.
It's a Renaissance woman.
I also noticed that Vera Vanguard, which is another friend of the show, she's doing the makeup. So it's all kind of a tight-knit group.
A lot of people don't realize that she's a makeup artist. She was trained as a makeup artist before she did anything. So she's really good. She did my test makeup for the Underworld photo shoot we did a few months ago for some press stuff. And I was like, wow. I mean, it was just so good that I was like, hey, want to work on a movie? She's like, oh, I would love to do Underworld, and so we're all excited about it. So she's definitely doing the makeup.
Awesome.
We just know everybody.
Yeah, that's cool. I know it's a tight-knit group out there.
6 degrees of like fan film separation between us and Kevin Bacon. I'm sure we know everyone.
Right, exactly.
There's somehow a connection.
I don't even think it's 7 degrees, though. I think it's tighter than that.
Yeah. Hey, I know.
Kevin Bacon's actually in the movie. No, just kidding.
I can imagine. He's my stunt double. It's wearing some fruity wig jumping around.
Oh, it's so funny. Yeah, and with the Underworld project, I was hesitant of calling it a fan film because our intention is actually to get distribution for a direct-to-DVD release. So technically, it is a fan film because it's a franchise that's already established or whatever. But
right.
we're kind of looking at it more as not technically a fan film when we actually have some interest, and we're hoping that we do a good job, that they'll go ahead and give us the rights to go ahead and do it as a direct-to-DVD.
That would be awesome.
Feature.
Now, do you know who has the rights? Is it I guess it's not the distributor, right? Who has the rights? Is it the original creators?
It's Screen Gems and Lakeshore.
Okay.
And Kevin Grevioux, who's a friend on my MySpace, my Facebook, I've actually spoken to him quite a few times. He knows about the project as well, and I haven't shown him too much yet because it's a little intimidating, because he created pretty much the film. He wrote the original script, and they changed it a little bit, but it's basically still his work. And
cool.
So we're hoping that he gives us the okay that he likes it. It's like, and it doesn't hurt to get more people involved in the original franchise to kind of be like, hey, this fan film was so good. Here, you have to watch this.
Yeah, there's definitely
a lot of work.
There's definitely the bar that's set. I mean, look, I don't know if you saw like the Hunt for Gollum. That's definitely up there, Ascension. So are you looking up to that? I mean, as fanboys, Will and I, we're looking at these fan films, I don't know, over 10 years now, or about 10 years. So we're getting a little spoiled. They're getting better and better and better. And you're seeing something like The Hunt for Gollum now. So we're really spoiled. Do you think you're going to be up to that quality?
Yeah, our film, I haven't seen that. I heard about it. The film that we're doing, we're actually shooting full-blown 35mm film.
Wow, okay.
So this is not digital.
That's
cool. It gives it kind of like that old school feel.
Oh, yeah, it's very similar. It's going to be, we're going to telesetting. It should look very similar to the Underworld movies. We should have it. Their budget obviously is 4 times as much as what we have, but we have a lot of industry people that are helping out on the project on their own time. It's because just the name Underworld, they want to be involved in it. And so I've been very lucky. I've been working, at a studio for 8 years now, and I have a lot of people that I've met over the years that I haven't, asked for too many favors because I knew that I would need them eventually for something like this.
you were hoarding them.
Yeah, can you scratch my back over here, right on the right side, right above the shoulder there?
Yeah.
Isn't that something? Your 35mm, that's going to be some money there too.
It is. I mean, we there's a company. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say their name, but there's a company that kind of donated and sponsored all the film already, so it's already been paid. It's not that big a deal. It's just, I can say it's Kodak. They're a very generous company who sponsors independent filmmakers.
Oh, very cool. I never knew that.
Yeah.
Made right here, probably in Rochester, New York, where I'm set.
Awesome.
The film.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of good film companies or whatever, not film companies, film, what do you call them, distributors or whatever Kodak would be considered. There's a lot of them that are out there. I tend to lean towards Kodak more. I like the quality of their, the output of the film. It sparkles, it's just, there's something really, I don't know. I prefer the Kodak, and they were kind enough to give us brand new stock footage for nighttime, and it's like the one that just came off the truck, so to speak. So we're very excited. We can't wait to see what it looks like.
Normally, it's just obviously it's video because it's cheaper.
Yeah. Well, and most people, their intentions are they're a fan, and it's just that they leave it at that. They just want to do a fan film. Like, ours is a little more. We're trying to actually get it in theaters. We're trying to get it into a direct-to-DVD format where it's screened in limited release throughout the country, and if not, then, at least it's still a completed, it's like a film. Basically,
the fans will still love it regardless, just because you did it, like, wow, here's our franchise and another addition to it, like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we, I'm saying we because there's other people involved. I guess I'm the one that wrote it. I guess so I could say me. But
you're the conductor.
You and the key grip, the two people that were solely responsible for the film, and the best boy. Let's not forget about him.
When I wrote this script, it's a full feature. It's a 90-minute feature, but obviously we're not doing the full 90-minute film. It will take forever and hundreds of thousands of dollars. So what I did was I was smart enough to know this ahead of time, and when I wrote it, I always write my acts and to leave on like baby cliffhangers, so to speak. So the first 30 minutes is what we're shooting, and we're leaving it on a cliffhanger. We're just going to call, it'll be to be continued, basically volume 1. Because because it's the only way feasible, and you can't really put. I mean, you can, but online it's hard to put too much. If it's too long, it's hard for people to download it. Or exactly. So we have to have part 1, part 2, first 15 minutes, and then click underneath. It'll be the next 15 minutes. So it should be about 20 to 30 minutes. We don't know the exact running time yet. So, I mean, I'm pretty excited. I wish they would give us, the golden ticket and give us the money now and do the whole movie, but it doesn't work that way. So
you got to fight. You got to scrap from the bottom to the top. You got to scrap it out.
Yeah.
You got to fight.
We just recently got a really cool fighting stunt choreographing team, and they're both girls.
Hello, nurse.
I was actually going to ask about that. Like as far as the stunts and everything, do you do any of your own stunts or?
I am. There's one particular scene, like we're right at the precipice of shooting. We were supposed to start shooting back in June, but we had production things happened and we had to push back, but I think it was for the best. But there's one particular scene at the end. My opening sequence to this movie is going to be full-blown action, and I want it to be sort of like, holy crap, There
you go, grab them from the beginning.
Yes. And there's one scene where we're trying to figure out exactly where there's 2 different ways we're going to shoot this because we're not sure how it's going to work out yet. But basically, there's a scene where her signature thing is she's always leaping off something,
right?
Whether it's a rooftop or a cliff, whatever. So you kind of have to put something like that in it because it's kind of a tradition. And we have a jump like that, and I'm going to be doing most of it. But obviously, for legal reasons, I can't actually do the full jump from way up at the top. So the lead stunt girl's like, yeah, you're not doing that. I'm like, damn it.
That's my job.
I want to. She's like, no.
You stand back there and sip margaritas. I'll be risking my life.
Yeah. It's not that high up. I mean, but it's a pretty nasty fall if something were to happen.
I can imagine.
So but it's a girl team. It's really cool. I'm not sure if there's a lot of stunt companies that are run by females, but these girls, they're just like... The
company's actually run by females as well?
Well, they are kind of a freelancing... It's 2 of them that run it, and they have different people that they've worked with throughout their careers and stuff. And
I see.
One of the girls' name is Monica Branger, and Vanessa is the other girl. I don't know why right now, but I'm blanking on her last name. Isn't that horrible? But Vanessa and Monica they're really good because they're women, and that's kind of a cool statement because it's kind of like, holy crap, it's an Underworld
movie. We could do it too, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the fighting sequences are all by girls. Yeah.
Right.
Because I don't know if you guys know, but girls can be a lot more tougher than guys can be when they're...
Oh, yes.
I've seen girls...
Hey, I'm married. I know how that goes.
Ones, and wow, it can get vicious.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
I let my wife do all the fighting for me. Honey, you can take them.
Oh, jeez.
It was one of those, like, what was I going to say? Actually, I looked up real quick. Her last name's Vanessa. I cannot believe... You know how when you're talking, sometimes you, like...
The old brain fart happens to me constantly.
Yeah, it's like I know her and I can see her last name, but for some reason but I have it right here.
That's all right. Don't worry about it.
But Vanessa Vander.
There you
go.
It.
Vanessa Vander.
That sounds familiar.
We will edit that in so good they won't even know that you forgot it.
Both of the girls have been in a lot of stuff. Obviously, I don't have their information right in front of me, but they've worked on a lot of big budget movies. I know Vanessa just worked with Adam Sandler on You Can't Mess with Bill Hand, and
we're going to have our own
Adam Sandler
fan film podcast, fan film, and we do stunt double for Chris. So
yeah,
we can ask one of the ladies in there to.
If you see them from a distance, they're like 5'3", real thin, beautiful blondes, and you would never in a million years believe they could beat the crap out of you.
They would kick the crap out of me easily, probably.
They know every martial arts there is, and it's like. And my whole thing with Selene is my only negative response, I guess, would be for in the films with Kate Beckinsale is that they didn't do enough hand-to-hand action fighting sequences with her, and Selene should be one of the most badass warriors in the movie. She's kind of
she's got like that slender build, so she can just move in and out of opponents and just hit them up and just sail through them. Because she's so built to basically fight.
She doesn't really do that in the first movie. Like in the second one, I know that they tried to give her a couple more scenes, which was it was really kind of cool. She did a little bit more, but they still relied more on the weaponry, which is cool. Yeah. But I want
the gun people like that. But
when I wrote my Selene is like pure badass. She's like my training's going to be like we're just getting ready to start the fighting sequences and stuff. I want this Selene to be like the Bourne Identity. I mean, I want her to be like
it's like no joke.
Yes, not much. She uses guns a little bit, but it's mostly hand-to-hand stuff where it's like disarming and killing people and just like not killing people, but I mean like the bad guys or whatever. And
they're killing something, roaches or something. Yes.
Yeah, and I don't know if you are. Do you know what the story's about? I mean, do you know anything about the movie?
I've seen the first two. I haven't seen the new one, so I'm not sure about the new one. But
Rise of the Lycans has nothing to do with my film, so you don't need to see it. It doesn't really foreshadow or talk about anything to do with my film.
That was actually what I was going to get into. I am first and foremost a werewolf fan. I'm a fan that he's my favorite monster. I like him, and I like Creature from the Black Lagoon. I'm an old school guy. So I like my werewolves. As far as Lycans are concerned, in your film, will we see any Lycans or no?
Actually, the film itself is not really about the Lycans. There, in the full movie, the full script, there is a scene towards the end where, because literally, like I told you, it literally walks right into the first movie where literally there's no break. If you were to watch it from start to end, it would be like the only difference in it would be switched. It would go from me to Kate Beckinsale. But basically, the Lycan is in there, and there is a small flashback scene. But it's not really about Lycans, unfortunately. It's about vampire versus vampires. The whole point is, like the whole story in a nutshell is basically. I'd almost call it a side story. She has made a few mistakes back in the day when she had first been turned, when she first turns to a vampire.
Right.
If you notice with the character Selene, she's very emotional, even though she's, hard, like, badass, whatever. If you can tell she has a kind of a fondness for humans still. She still has a conscience.
She kind of feels bad, like in a way, to do what she does.
She never loses that, and in this film, it shows you why she's the way she is, and that she does care about things, and she's not a heartless vampire, and that she has made some mistakes, and that one of her biggest mistakes is back in the day, centuries ago, she fell in love with a human who didn't know she was a vampire, but eventually he finds out. But he doesn't care, and they have this relationship, and then she, kind of when she's, I'm lonely, I'm a vampire, I have nobody to talk to, whatever it is. She turns to him, and then in a long story short, he actually becomes probably one of the most vicious vampires ever.
Wow, that was a bad move on her behalf.
Yeah, who would have thought, this sweet guy who would turn into that, but basically, the story is just basically her tracking him down to Los Angeles from a neutral type of contact who they float around all over the world, death dealers, vampires. They don't necessarily all fight and kill people. Some people are happy being in their own little clans and being scientists and doing studies and have nothing to do with the main clans, which are the ones Selene is with, and there's one on each ends of the world, one on one side of the world, one on the other. It says it in the first movie also that there's two big clans, one from the east, one from the west, whatever. But Talon is basically a really bad guy that she needs to get rid of, and so she gets to Los Angeles, and basically she says it in the opening voiceover, with the absence of Lycans, vampires have turned against each other and started fighting each other instead. blood feuds. And
you gotta know what else to fight.
And that's the whole thing is, even though there might be some Lycans here and there still in the world, to them they're pretty much extinct. And so finding him is kind of important because there's something, I don't want to give it away, but there's something that Talon has with all his money and all his scientists and all that. He's developing something for someone that could potentially extinct their rights, because he doesn't care if the public or anyone sees anything. He doesn't care. You know, the whole point of the movie is not necessarily what he's doing. It's just the whole interaction between her old boyfriend, who used to be this great guy, who is horrible. She doesn't even recognize anymore. But she also, the main point of the story is in her tracking down this bad guy, she stumbles onto a young human girl, played by Heather Downey, that is working for this guy, these people. She doesn't know that they're vampires. She just knows that they're influential. She's kind of sick with a disease, and they have a way for her to, as long as she takes the medicine, she's okay. So she doesn't care what they're doing, whether it's bad or not. And then Selene stumbles onto this girl because she's being basically harassed by her employers because she messed up on something. So she ends up fighting to save her, and then kind of getting attached to her and becoming her bodyguard, basically. And things will happen, and it will show you why she's got a fondness for humans. At the same time, she tries to keep them at a distance, but it doesn't work. You know, she falls in love with Michael in the first movie, human.
Yeah.
You know, there's a great quote that what is her name? Sophia Myles says, who plays Erica in the first movie. She's a really funny girl, by the way. She just says this great quote when they're looking at the computer at the beginning of Selene. It's all the pictures that she has seen of the guys that are taking pictures of Michael. Remember, they're following him into the subway. And Selene's sitting at the laptop looking at the pictures, and Sophia goes, "Oh God, you're not going to turn another human, are you?" It's like great. It's like such a great line because it's such a force. It kind of is like what our movie's kind of about. So it's kind of like it's really funny.
They like the pure bloods more, I'd imagine.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So I mean, that's I don't know if. But that's pretty much what it's going to be about. We're just only going to do the first 20 minutes, so just to, put it out there so we can get hopefully some finances to be able to do the whole entire film, which is our main goal. There's cool characters that we're trying to introduce, and we really can't do that till the second act.
Do you have an expected release date, or are you kind of like a guesstimate maybe of?
Hoping it'll be obviously this is not really an answer, but we're hoping it will be before January, February, or March, because we need to have it done for Comic-Con and all. We have a really great connection there. It's going to show it in between the Masquerade intermission, which is really hard to get your film there.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, they frown on fan films there.
Yeah, they should have more. I mean, I know they have a Star Wars one. But it's like, for me, I love Star Wars. Obviously, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but I get really bored watching too many in a row fan films.
That's the thing, all of us are. It's just like another one. Like, why can't we have like a Dr. Fate or like somebody's already done that? But why can't we have something obscure?
Well, it's kind of every freaking one's got a sword fight, a lightsaber fight in it. I mean, do something different.
There's not much you can do with a Star Wars fan film unless you have someone who has a lot of money, because it's mostly special effects, and that's why a lot of them don't look good, because it's like a digital camera, but they don't have any money for production value. So it's a cool idea, but it's like it ends up being the same as all the other ones. Like a great example is, you guys saw Batman Dead End, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a fantastic movie. I mean, even though it's only 10 minutes long, it's like one of those movies where or films, I guess, fan films, whatever you want to call it, that you're just kind of like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
Why can't I do that?
Well, that's what got me started in college. That movie and Dan Poole's the Green Goblin's Last Stand.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that one either.
But those are the two movies that kind of got my notice, and I said, "Wow, like these are like these aren't Hollywood people. These are just like regular dudes." And I was just like, "Wow, that's crazy."
The people that are doing these fan films, like everybody, like here's the thing. I mean, we all come to Hollywood, Los Angeles to do our own original films. And back in the day, it was a lot easier to do that. But now with all these, there's like with the remakes and the superhero movies, it's really hard to break in as an original. But if you can do a standalone film, whether it's independent or fan film, whatever you want to call it, that's really good, those people, those are the ones that will be Hollywood. They will get their director's, shot or their actor shot, because people will see it, and it just catches on when now they have YouTube, and I mean,
everyone wants to be a star.
What's that, Chris?
I said everyone wants to be a star. She mentioned the YouTube.
Oh yeah, exactly. YouTube. Yeah.
You got, you got you guys. More media. You've got Twitter. You've got all these Facebook, MySpace, all these pages stuff that you didn't really have 5 years ago. That if somebody likes something, everyone's gonna know about it.
That's what it is. My audience has increased, so I'm sure Chris can agree with hits and stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
It's,
more
like
emails and
since all that stuff has been added into the whole, thrown into the pot.
And I know that where I work, the studio that I work for, it's probably one of the biggest, and they have people specifically that all they do is scour the internet and research on what's cool. What's making noise? What's making?
I want
buzz.
that job.
Yeah.
That's a good job.
Yeah, me too. That sounds fun. So it's like, my whole thing is it's taken me 2 years because like I said, I wrote it. I've been putting my crew together, the people I've known and worked with in the past, people not new people. We're in the process of switching DPs. We had a really good guy that I've worked with for a really long time who is not able to work on this film right now for personal reasons. So we're trying to find a new DP right now, but it shouldn't be difficult at all.
And maybe it can be in your next one.
Yeah. I mean, we're not too worried about that. But my thing is, I just can't wait for it to be the post-production process is where I just it's my thing. I love the post part, doing the editing and
I'm with you.
It's kind of shining it up, getting ready for the car show, shining her up and putting those last minute details on there. And
plus, you can cheat. You can cheat a lot. I mean, if you didn't have a particular scene in mind when you shot it, there are tricks and perks, little different stuff you can do to make a scene different. Maybe use some footage that you didn't think you were ever going to use to make a scene all that much better.
Yeah, like I said, there's a flashback scene where there's a Lycan or whatever, but it's like, obviously, it's like if we can't fit it into the opening sequence, it's not going to be that big a deal because it's not a make a day. It's not like make or break. It's just kind of like it would have been cool. And I know that the guys that did the Underworld franchise down the street have the Lycans in their warehouse. So I mean,
oh, cool.
If we talked to him, it'd be cool to ask if we could borrow one for one day of shooting. But,
or maybe hire someone for a theft or something.
Yeah, but they're like kind of like, if they're not for sure exactly what exactly is going on, they're not going to release it.
Right.
But I don't need it for sure. So I'm not really that worried because we have such a great opening sequence that alone is just kind of like, now that's the Selene we should have seen.
That is so important. It really is, to grab the person. We've said this countless times on the show and be like, you want to watch this. We're grabbing you by the collar. You definitely want to watch this. You know what I mean? And that's very important.
Now, did you ever think to maybe, maybe that's thinking farther ahead, but maybe as a pilot, as a TV show? I mean, look at what happened
I was thinking about that,
to Blade, even though the Blade TV show sucked.
Probably. I mean, I'm open to anything just because I love the series so much. And I know that Kate has said recently that she's not interested in playing Selene anymore anyway. It was a really difficult shoot for her. The suit is very not uncomfortable, but it's not fun wearing the suit. It's either really, really hot or really, really cold. And
is that all leather, or is that kind of like a pleather?
Yeah. The trench coat is almost, oh my gosh, I think it's 8 pounds of weight alone.
Wow.
And it's like completely hand embroidered in the back. It's like a light leather. I guess you could say a pleather. It'd be closer to pleather, but it doesn't breathe too much. The cat suit is a mixture of the corset is again the leather pleather, and that's pretty heavy. And then the cat suit is probably the one that's not as bad, but again, it's the shiny PVC, latexy,
and it's black, so that doesn't help,
It molds to you, so it's like after a while you're like, I'm hot. I can't go to the bathroom. I can't eat.
I think the suit is melted on me. Could we please get some help over here?
Yeah, she's not
to pry me out.
She will have to wear it way longer than I have because she had months and months of shooting. But it's still, I'm like, whatever. I'm just gonna wear it because it's it makes the movie. You know, the coat, you don't see a lot of the coat in the movie. It's very quick shots. I'm going to have a specific scene where you can actually see the back of the coat, which is all, like I said, it took my costume designer like 2 months to do it. It's all hand embroidered, and there's like symbols and tribal things that go all the way up the back.
So it's actually kind of like a dead-on copy of her actual outfit?
Yep, it is.
Oh, very cool.
It is. Yeah. We changed it up slightly because each film, I don't know if people notice this because they're not geeks like me, but each costume that she wears in each of the movies, they are slightly altered. The coats are different from the first to the second. Excuse me, I'm choking on my own spit.
Oh boy.
The boots.
I missed the best
What's that?
Her boots took forever to find, and the ones that I'm wearing are slightly different because that's the whole point. Is every movie she kind of evolves. So the boots I have are pretty dead on. They're a little bit more platformy. But it's because we wanted our own take on it. The cat suits change every movie slightly. Hers has these buckles that go around the neck, like say Velcro, which I still have, but we have them slightly different. And the cat suit, we have the belt, the zipper. It's going to be able to zip down slightly. If it's not up, it might be down slightly. Where in the first two movies they sort of alter, and the coats are completely different from the first to the second movie, which people don't even realize. One's brown, one's black.
Wow, that is brown. I didn't even know that. Was the brown one in the second one?
Yeah, if you watch in Evolution, especially when she's in the forest and she does her little fighting sequence to save Michael, it's a chocolate brown.
Oh, wow.
It's completely different, and it has symbols all over it. My coat is the exact replica of the second movie, but in black.
Sweet.
So it's heavy. So yeah, long story short, it's a very uncomfortable costume to wear for, especially under any lights or having to do action sequences. I'll tell you a little trick that I'm doing for the warehouse scene, which is the opening sequence. The fight, because I have a lot of fighting I have to do and moving around. The cat suit that I'm wearing for just the warehouse is actually a different cat suit than you'll see throughout the whole movie. It's more of a stretched PVC. It's a little bit shiny, but it's a lot more. You have more mobility. So it's tricks that people do with movies, like with Kate when she did her running sequences. She had a two-piece. I believe it was more of a two-piece cat suit. It's like you can't wear straight cat suits. There's no way to bend. Yeah, you have to have different switch outs.
Not going to be very fluid. You're going to be kind of like you need oil or something. You're going to be.
Yeah, you
cinching up.
But yeah, so we're getting ready to start shooting. We're aiming for next month. I mean, there's a little bit of rehearsals for the fighting, but it doesn't take that long once you start shooting. So we're on track. It's just important to get all the players together and getting the locations, and that's the hard part. Finding locations.
That's the thing. You got if you want to do kind of like an underground job, cops are like, "What the hell are you guys doing? You jumping around with guns and black trench coats? What are you guys doing over here?"
Yeah, well, one of the warehouse location we have. Luckily, we have somebody that's offered to let us use it. It's not for free, of course, but not anywhere near the amount of money it normally charges for studios. Shoot at this place. He's been very kind, and he's just very cool with the whole, female director? Oh, that's so cool.
My name's going to be on the credits. Awesome.
Yeah. So we got this warehouse that's amazing in downtown LA, warehouse district, and it's very dark, vampire, gutted, old looking. It's perfect. We don't even have to do anything. We just show up and shoot. We don't have to bring anything in there. We have some of the people from the movie itself. Len Wiseman and Kate have been on our lot on and off the last year or so. She's working on a movie called Whiteout, which is coming out September 18th, I think.
Yeah, I've seen the trailer.
Go see that. It's like, I don't know if have any of you ever met Kate or Len or...
No. We live...
Yeah.
I live where, you don't meet those kind of people.
Oh, okay. Well,
you're West Coasters, we're New Yorkers, so how it goes. And New York over here. I don't got time to go over there.
Yeah, I mean, there are people who will get copies of this as well, and it's like, not only do I feel like, this is awesome, I can't wait, but I'm also terrified beyond belief. It's like someone, I actually had we have some fan sites that we have up. We just got Underworld, bloodties.com just been put up. It's under construction. There's nothing there except the poster, which the posters, if you haven't seen them, are really badass.
Yep.
A guy named
They are cool. You sent me a couple of them.
Who was the guy?
Traxter is his nickname. His name is Anthony Manley. He is a guy, believe it or not. This guy, he is a really young, upcoming, I guess, graphics person from the UK. He is actually just out of his college. Believe it.
Oh, wow.
He's one of those geniuses. You're like, yep, this guy's going to be huge. And I grabbed him. I'm like, you know what? Your work, I don't know how many people I've gone through to do posters, and they just, no offense, they were, I guess they were okay, but they just were not up to the standards of theatrical release posters.
Yeah.
One that I really love, the one that's probably going to be, it's going to be the media push, is the white one. We call it the white poster, which is it's a very reminiscent of the Matrix Reloaded posters.
And it puts more emphasis on the character, because it's just the stark white background. So you're standing in front of it, so, the viewer sees you and all the detail in the costume and all that
I think
stuff.
Jessica's going through a tunnel or something. I can hear the static.
That's the poster that, whenever you guys decide to do it, whenever you put more information up on the movie, whatever, if you could use that picture, that would be fantastic. Because
is that where you're talking with your back's turned with the guns?
The one, it's an all-white, pure white background.
Oh, okay.
And that, the website, underworldbloodties.com, like I said, it just came up, so unfortunately there's not a lot of content there. But we do have also the MySpace page, which is MySpace, and then it's Selene Underworld LA. I'm not sure why it doesn't just say Underworld Blood Ties, but Selene Underworld LA. And then there is, I think, a Facebook one, but we're not finished, because even though my name sometimes is attached to them, I'm not always the one running the sites. So I have other people that help out. So unfortunately, people think it's me all the time, and they're asking me all this stuff. I'm like, I get some of them, but my friend's like, this isn't Jessica. Sorry, but
this is Harry.
But the only other thing I was going to say is I had one on MySpace. Whenever I'm able to check stuff out, I look on it all the time, and the question has how do you feel walking into the shoes of Kate Beckinsale? It's like,
a little pressure there.
Well, she's taller than me. She's like 2 or 3 inches taller than me to start with. She's about 5'10".
That's my height.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm like almost 5'7", I guess. But the boots, it doesn't matter. It puts you at the same height. But it's hard, because anybody that's used to Underworld is going to expect her to be, Selene. Kate Beckinsale is Selene. She did a fantastic job. I can't imagine anyone actually playing her. Like Rise of the Lycans, I thought they were replacing her with this other girl, but I didn't realize that they're not connected. They're 2 different characters. But
that's a chick with the big lips from Nip Tuck. Everybody remembers Nip Tuck, but she had like a minor part in that.
Yes. And she was in actually a movie that she looked like Selena. She had the same hair and everything. It was that kind of a weird movie that was like it's like kind of bloody, like Mad Max type of movie. It just came out a couple years ago.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking. Doomsday.
Yeah. Thank you. She looked like Selena in that movie. She had the same haircut and everything, and I'm like, that's how she got. I think
there you go. It's probably exactly
that was actually a pretty good movie. I mean, it was kind of cheesy, but it rolled in, like you said, Mad Max. It had a couple other film influences in there, but it was a pretty good movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. And I like people have to know that like whenever you do whenever a character is recast, like James Bond or Batman or whatever, it takes a little bit to get used to. There's of course I'm not trying to like replace Kate Beckinsale or anything. She doesn't want to play Selene anymore. So it's like at least you have someone who knows the character really well and studies. I know her mannerisms and the British accent. That's been a little bit harder to nail. I've had to work really hard on that. I have an actor who's in the movie, and he's pure British, so we do a lot of training. What do you call it? I'll do my lines, and he'll say, yeah, that's terrible. Or he'll go, oh, yeah, that's fine,
Watch nothing but Guy Ritchie movies for like 2 years, and you'll be good. Just constantly with Lock, Stock, and Snatch, and you'll be good.
It's not that difficult. You just realize she's more of a British American.
Yeah, it's kind of like the distinguished, not the Cockney, thick. I might, you can't really understand.
That was Australian.
Well, the trick to the Selene character, the trick to her is you use a slower voice. You talk a little slower and a little deeper, so it comes out more like, my name is Selene, and I am a death dealer.
It's intimidating. It's not as...
Yeah, you just slow your voice down, and you add the accent, and you just keep acting. If you think about, I'm doing a British accent, it's going to sound terrible.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you guys have heard on the MySpace the voiceover opening. I don't know, have you heard that yet?
No.
Yeah, I caught the audio clip. Yeah, I went actually there today just to check it out, and it's well done, so...
Yeah, that's pretty much the opening. It's still going to be the same. The voiceover is still going to be the same. It's just a little bit longer, but and that was done. We did that in like a day or so. And one of the executive producers of Underworld, a friend of mine, and him were having lunch, and he played it for him. This was about a year ago, and he had this look on his face, like the concentrating. And then when it was over, he didn't say much. And my friend was like, "Oh, I guess he didn't like it," And then he just looked at him. He goes, "God," he goes, "when did Kate do that? I don't even remember her doing that stuff, that voiceover." And my friend, he starts laughing, and he's like, "That's not Kate." He's like, "Oh, it's not?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "No, not only is it not Kate Beckinsale, she's American. She's not British." So that was great for me because I had...
How dare she be good?
But, so I'm very excited about it. Like I said, I'm going to keep up with information.
Very good.
When we get more updated, we're going to have a photo shoot soon with a cast, so we have some more promo stuff to put out there. And principal photography should start very, very soon. We've been pushed it back a few times, which is frustrating because I just want to get out there and do it. And one small note, Matt Sweeney. I don't know if you've heard of Matt Sweeney. He's a very well-known special effects supervisor. He just worked on Fast and the Furious. He's been in the business for like 30 years. He's helping out on some of the one of the little effects we're doing with guns and stuff. So thanks to him. Thanks to him too.
Say thanks to as many people as you want to. This is this is a very plug-friendly show. We encourage it actually.
So you got like squibs going, or just?
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. The squib.
So what?
Squibs, or just you're gonna do it later in special effect in post?
We're doing. It's old school because I'm a believer in practical stuff more than green screening special effects because it just
Bless you. Yep.
doesn't look as well. We have one scene where we have to use a green screen because it's safety. So I mean, we have a couple things. Green screen is different than full out CG all the time. What we're doing is a mixture. It's a hybrid. There's a sequence where there's a little bit of a shootout with her against some vampires or humans that are inside this warehouse, but she thinks they're. She doesn't know what they are. She doesn't know if they're Lycans or whatever, but she realizes soon that they're humans because she's able to shoot them. Otherwise, vampires don't die with bullets, And we have some old-school techniques that we're using with Matt, who they're bullets, they're bulbs. They're called, what are they called? I think they're just flash bulbs. I think it's called, and they were made in the 50s. And when you fire your gun, a special effects guy will hit a button, and then you just it lights up. It goes flash.
Cool.
You don't have to use the blanks.
Oh, not sure.
It's safer, and it looks prettier, and you can use there's a new program, special bullets, I think it's called, where you can't tell. It looks like you're really shooting bullets. So it's just a lot safer for actors and cheaper. And
there you go. That's all you need.
Yeah,
what do you use, like Adobe Premiere or something like that?
We're gonna for the film.
For editing, like Adobe or.
Premiere. I'm sorry. I thought you said, "Are you having a Premiere?" I don't know.
No, I asked you for what. I was just curious what program you were using to edit.
My friend, and it's so funny. I'm like, told him I can't talk right now. I'm doing an interview, and he goes, "But you have to hear this. New England Patriots are killing the Philadelphia Eagles." I'm like. I'm sorry.
I love baseball.
This is important information.
Team, so thanks for interrupting my podcast.
You bastard.
Tom Brady rules. Woo-hoo. Anyway, sorry, I was distracted for a second.
No
17-0, Well,
go play your foosball and have a good time.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't. I'm not sure what the editor is going to be. I haven't picked out an editor yet. I'm very particular. I things a certain way. I'm easy to work with, of course. I'm not like a hard to work with, but I have a certain in my head. It's already edited. I already know how it'll look in my head. So I need to. I'm really looking to work with upcoming people that are slick, that really know what they're doing. They aren't corrupted by Hollywood studios yet. Because
that Hollywood tood yet. Like.
Well, they have their ideas squashed. It seems like when you get to a certain level, you either do it so much you don't care anymore, or the studios are constantly nagging on you. You kind of lose your spirit. It's kind of like, here's my editing. Yeah, and a lot of the younger people are really talented. I mean, the pool of creativity in Los Angeles is huge right now.
That's what's sad, is that there's so much talent out there, yet so many people go unrecognized. It's a real shame, you know?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't do that. I mean, I'm looking for more of the upcoming people that are doing it because they are really trying to break into the business, but are good, but love what they're doing. And hey, I'm putting it out right now. If people are interested in submitting for the editing job, MySpace, whatever, you're welcome to send me, and whoever, Jeff, whoever's running the site eventually, send them if you're in the LA area. You have to be in LA though, because I will be constantly working with you, so I need to make sure that you're local. But yeah, so editing, and then we're also shooting a teaser trailer, I think in the next 3 weeks. It's actually, I call it an announcement trailer, because it's basically some cool voiceovers, some, I don't know, footage of something, but it's not necessarily direct from the movie. It's just kind of like, here is a movie that's coming, and look, wham, there's Selene, there's a couple cool action sequences, bam, Underworld's coming. So it's kind of
like the old Batman, the Batman poster from Tim Burton, where you just see the Batman symbol, and it keeps you mystery,
It's actually kind of, I heard all this voiceover and some cool music, and bam, at the end they just threw out the Joker card. It was very abrupt, but it was like maybe a minute long. It's going to be a really cool stylized announcement trailer, teaser trailer, where it's just like, here's, blah, 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 my name is Selene, I'm a death dealer, then bam, it reveals Selene doing some cool stuff, and massive green screen with a cool background with her doing something, whether it's an action beating the crap out of someone, or just something with it that people go, oh, Underworld.
That's so important. It's so important. You got to get that. Got to get that reaction, like, oh, man, that looks awesome, Yep, we're shooting that really soon. I'm just getting some clearance for a background that I want to use for the green screen, because it's hard to explain. You just have to see it. It won't look like a green screen, of course, because most movies are all green screens no matter what. So, that'll be out soon, so that way we can get that up and out to people, and I'll let you guys know when it's up. Oh, definitely.
You'll see it.
We're on top of stuff, me and Chris. So if you want, you got to send us, any other posters. If you have the teaser ready to go, we'll be, more than willing to show it on our sites and all that. So
awesome.
We're here for you. Yes.
Yay for us, and like I said, hopefully things will go smoothly. We've had some bumps along the way, like every production company and production does, and it's worth it when you do all this hard work and you look up and say, oh my gosh, that's my movie.
Yeah, we did it.
Holy crap, look at all the hours of not sleeping, and
Yeah, but it's worth it. You've got something tangible to look back on and say, okay, I didn't watch 50 hours of Oprah this month. if that's possible, but you actually have something tangible, something you can be proud of.
Exactly, and hopefully it'll be soon. And but yeah, so I guess thanks for interviewing us, or me. I should keep saying us, but me, I guess. That's I'm the spokesperson.
You represent?
Yeah, you represent for the fam, you're repping.
But Jessica, I got to say one thing to you, because I never get to say this to girls. Okay. You're a geek. All right?
Isn't that weird when you think about it? Like, you're used to some, fat kid, with, acne, and, dude, you're such a geek.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Chick,
I watch all the superhero movies, and I go to Comic-Con, and I'm totally a geek.
That's awesome.
That's a compliment.
That's awesome.
I'm not gonna test you. Trust me. It's just I'm not gonna test your knowledge.
Next time, you know what we should do? We should have her, Vera, and Valerie on, and do a quiz show or something. That would be fun.
Awesome. Vera is a good friend of mine. She lives about 3 blocks from my house.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, and because you guys aren't in California, one of you, you're on the East Coast, right?
Yeah, I'm in
sucky
Western New York. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are able to put it together, like I said, we'll figure out how. You mean together at the same time, or separate?
No, we just do it over the phone. We got an intercom, or what am I trying to say? A conference thing we use that we can get everyone into the one thing. I think that would be kind of fun to have a geek kind of game show with you girls.
All three have done. Each of us have done one, or mine's not finished yet, but we've all hit the popular.
It's weird.
Vera did Blood Rain. Valerie's done Tomb Raider. Now I'm doing Underworld.
Right, exactly.
3 big ones. So I mean, it kind of makes sense.
Yep.
You guys are the female big guns. You basically are. I mean,
we're the next Hollywood. We're. I think Valerie's been doing it a little bit longer than us, but I've been around, just haven't been. I've been writing and stuff, so I haven't had a chance. I don't do stuff to just throw it out there.
You've been in the shadows.
To do that.
You've been in the underworld.
Yeah,
kind of, sort of.
Literally.
Yeah, but cool. Well, it was great talking to you, and
You too, Jess. Thank you so much.
All right, well, I'm going to let you go. I have Tom Brady staring at my So, good talking to you guys.
Absolutely.
And like I said, I can't wait to listen to it and put it up on our sites and let people hear it, and it'll be all fun and joy.
Okay, great.
Very nice. And anytime you're going to come back on the show, you're more than welcome. I mean, we love repeat guests. So.
Keep in touch.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That sounds like fun.
All right, Jess.
All right, Jess.
Hey, peace out.
Okay.
Take care now. Good luck with everything. Good luck.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.